I would be a professional bird watcher. Is that a
that
job?
works. Every piece yourself by hand?
Yes, every piece in this whole store I've made, and somehow I'm not sick of it. I still love it.
I just can't even imagine how many hours that is making and how many hours that is spent not sleeping.
Yes, exactly.
So there must be a lot of metalsmithing in there,
yes,
and designing.
Yes, I was an apprentice for a year in New York, and I learned all the basics of metalsmithing there. It's a really beautiful art form. So I'm going to show you one of the just very starting things that you'll learn in metalsmithing. It's called annealing. So we can either hit it with a hammer to work harden it, or we can light it with a flame to actually soften it.
Just like that.
Just like that. We'll get this nice little flame on this tiny tip. It's called a smith's torch. And we're gonna go just up and down here on the metal, and eventually you'll start to see a little bit of a color change. Since this silver isn't 100% pure, some of the other metals inside will rise to the top, and that's where you'll start to get these like oranges and blacks coming out. There is no thermometer on here. It's really the old school way, you know? We're just looking at it and guessing how hot it is. See, there we go, now it's nice and orange. That's when we know. It's all about the hands and like making it and touching it and forming it, which is what you're gonna do next. So go ahead and stick this guy in the water, and you can hear my absolute favorite sound in the world. Okay, it's called quenching.
All the way in?
Doesn't it sound so good? It's very satisfying, strangely, right?
That is a very satisfying sizzle right there.
Yeah, so it's actually super soft right now. And if you put this in a drawer and locked it up for 10 years, it would still be as soft. It's like, I'm not a math person or a science person, but these types of things are super interesting to me.
I agree. So this is where a piece would start.
Yes, we were gonna make a band. We would just form it right here around this little manual. Yeah.
I'm size 7, also I'm not sure I'm as strong as Nina is though. Oh wait, there we go, it's starting to bend.
There you go, yeah, you're stronger than you think, girl. Oh. You got this. See, that's basically what we do. And then, you know, we just hammer it around until it's fully bent around. So we just have these really old school tools, hammers, fire, metal, and that's it.
So where would this piece go from here?
Then I make a silicone mold, which looks like this. And then you just pour the metal through this little hole here. And that's how we would remake it over and over. I've been making jewelry for 8 years now, so they go a lot quicker for me when I'm making the prototypes now than it did in my first collection, which took me an entire year to make 6 pieces. I don't plan out a lot ahead. I just kind of have these visual ideas of things that I've researched or things that I like or things that stuck in my mind through my walks. And then I just kind of sit down and cut all these little pieces of rod one way or the other. It just kind of forms itself in front of me, which I wouldn't recommend this as the most efficient way to do things because it's like 75% of the stuff I make goes in the trash because I don't have a plan.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's a beautiful organic process, and it's jewelry really being made from the heart.
Yes, and when it works, it really works.
It really works, as evidenced by the women of Boston and beyond wearing your pieces. Who have you been really excited to see some of your pieces on?
I mean, we recently had Alicia Keys wear it, and that was pretty amazing.
And Aisha Tyler
on
the top.
Yes, exactly.
So how do you want women to feel when they're rocking your pieces?
You know, metalsmithing and working with my hands is a super powerful thing for me, and I just kind of want to give that to other women through jewelry. I also think of jewelry as a little bit of armor. Sometimes it's really literal, like this was actually inspired by scales on armor. Every single piece of jewelry you can put on as armor to take on your day. Whatever's going to come your way, you're good. You feel beautiful, you feel confident.
Give women that sense of strength.
Exactly. I just want you to feel powerful, big, bold, confident, creative, all the good stuff, you know?
Ready to take on your day.
Yes.
That's really special. So we're sitting in your beautiful shop, which is such a magnificent place, but it didn't start here. Where did this begin?
No, it actually started in an Airstream, and that was my first store, and it was just really kitschy, and that's really how Austin got to know me, was just seeing my Airstream over there, coming in and trying on the jewelry for the first time.
It had such a unique character to it, which was special in itself. Where did that idea come from?
The whole Airstream idea just came from Austin in general. I mean, when I came here, I noticed all the food trailers. I also had a bunch of realtor friends who were telling me it's not really the time to invest in a 10-year lease. I had seen other mobile boutiques here and there, and I thought, why not just find this as my like little new brick and mortar spot?
Yes, and it was so charming, and I remember how fun it would be as you crawled in the Airstream, and then there's just this elaborate world of jewelry.
I know, this is kind of like an explosion of that.
This is like the Airstream exploding.
Yeah.
The jewelry is so special, but It seems like you're growing something more than just jewelry. What are you trying to do here?
So we're an all-female company, and so I really want to let women know that you can make things with your hands. We can get dirty, we can have a business, we can also be moms and also be, you know, best friends. But at the end of the day, we can be makers and we can be successful as entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah, such an important message of empowering women that they can wear all those hats.
Yeah.
There's a place for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So where do you draw inspiration for these different pieces? Because what I'm always so amazed by is just like the 3D nature, and they seem to jump off your hands.
Yeah, I want jewelry to be different. I try not to look at any other designer's work, and when I'm building something, I just try to let my imagination go. Some of the storylines behind the collections come from ancient mythology is one that I really always draw back to. My first collection that I made here in Austin was called Doors of Janus, and it was inspired by all of these ancient doorways, and I correlated those to the doorways that I saw in Austin. You see a lot of yellow doors, green doors, red doors. When I was going on my walks, I didn't have a car for the first 6 months I was here, which everybody was like, what?
Yeah, that's
How did you get around?
To do that in Austin.
Yeah, so I was walking everywhere. Trees would arc around me, and I would notice everybody's doors were all these different colors, and so I really drew inspiration from that.
It sounds like every day can be an inspiration to
Yes.
you. You're just pulling in all the things from your surroundings. So if you weren't spending your time making jewelry every day, what do you think you would be doing?
I would be teaching, probably, metalsmithing, because I love making jewelry so much.
You can't say teaching jewelry as your alternative. What if it was completely
Okay, if it had
unrelated?
nothing to do with jewelry. Okay, this is gonna be really weird, and this is the first thing that comes to mind. I think I would be like someone that goes around and identifies birds and other animals, like in nature. It's so weird.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
I would be a professional bird watcher. Is that a
That
job?
works. That absolutely works. What's a motto or a saying that kind of gives you strength as you are working so hard around the clock?
So my life motto is leap and the net will appear. Don't ever second guess yourself, just jump for it. And I've always tried to live my life that way, and every single time I do, it's scary, and at first it may seem like it could have been the wrong decision, but there's always a net there, whether it be my community, employees, or my family or friends. There's always going to be a net there to like make sure you're okay.
It's like you have to jump and then the
You have
parachute
to jump.
can come out,
You're never going
right?
to see the net until you already jumped, you know?
It's beautiful. Thank you.